Gutam milunu dees were mead. Welcome one and all to the earworm in a sharp suit fort that we all call Hammerlock. I have something special for you for our 20th episode of Hammerlock. Crazy, right? I know, I can hardly believe it myself. But that comes a little later. For now, we are, as usual, floating above the Lesser's fort, watching our hard-working little dwarven citizens as they scurry about building, hauling, making, hauling, cooking, hauling, training, and hauling. As you may have noticed, we have now updated the latest beta branch and so can finally see which of our hairy tubers are southpaws. The cull will come later. There are other small changes, plus hopefully some fixes that'll make dealing with the sacks easier. But really your experience should be little altered. So why do I mention it? Honestly, I'd completely forgotten I'd done it, and when it came time to sit down and get the script done, I found I'd inadvertently recorded myself wittering on about it to a third party. There's some portrait changes. I just hope it doesn't cut up my saves and force me to reboot the dimension. Last time I did that, I created a demonic cat, and we all know how that went. Ah, the dwarven caravans are here. Wait, why no wagons? Oh, snot, damn it. They've noticed the line of traps I set up to hopefully catch some mega beasts and have decided there's no way they could pass under the enormous cages suspended above. Not without feeling the need to kick the propping stick out at least. Here's a thought, can you put a wagon in a cage? Well, anyway, the caravans weren't testing it, so we're getting a lower amount of goods this year. Never mind. I've already got the dwarves delving in the mines below to look for more metals, so it shouldn't affect our gathering steel. Get yourself in, Mestos. Not easily depressed, but quick to despair. Are they not synonymous? Oh, would you look at that? Dishmab, one of our homegrown Hammerlock dwarves, has gone into a strange mood. Now, I wouldn't get your hopes up for anything worthwhile from this. He's only 4 for 1, for 2 he's got 1 chalk boulder, 3 he's getting another 1 for 2, and 4 he's not 1 too free for these kinds of endeavours, what with his normal chores keeping him so busy. Yes, that was a lot of fun to write. So we'll leave him to it and come back when he shows off Gomath id Tomem, or the legendary rock grouping. Oh wait, no, he does seem to be heading further afield than the rock stockpile. Yes, down past our spidery delvings for ore and through the hall of cavefish person teeth that still confuses me because I didn't know fish had teeth. It looks like he's going for some rough colours, that is to say, uncut gems. These rocks sure are going to be sparkly. He's done, and though normally you'd be listening to badly played trumpet at this point, I just had to show you first. It's a ring, Limer Engig, the nadir of flax. Nadir is the opposite of zenith, so instead of directly above, it's directly below. So, flax roots. It has an image of Moldath being coin mad on it, and Ervad making one of his signature dishes, some minced roast. The reason I wanted to show it off now is that you'll remember 2 boulders went into the making of this, and you'd think, wow, that's a lot of wastage, until you see the worth and realise, nope, it's bloody huge! Not really sure why he chose to do this. Perhaps our young Dishmab has noted that the Etin that visit are short on coverings, and is looking to corner the market. Regardless, the most important thing to come of this is the knowledge that even the fort's youth are aware that our Duke has a lust for coins that borders on the insane. Learn to control yourself, Moldath, you're literally scaring the children. The wrong answer to how Wily would catch the Roadrunner beast Quamoon has come. Interestingly, the wine holder from, oh, for me's sake, that's magma, you turtle-brained grassland weasel. Heavily bleeding, yes, well, 9th degree burns will do that to you. As you can see, Quamoon was in this case very aptly named. The bewildering indeed, daft as a brush. We're following Avuz, and that's Avuz, not Avuz, or indeed Avuz. Both of them have kicked what I'm starting to call the Avuz affliction. But Avuz here, well, he's officially the angriest little pimple in all of Hammerlock. Now he's stressed, which I think has something to do with him hauling the same llama wool dress back and to from his room to the stockpile. So we'll try what we did with the others. Free time and pets, maybe some time in the military, but most importantly, I've got the others to clear out a space next to his room, and we're going to fill it with furniture and call it a dining hall. His own personal dining hall. Hard to be grumpy when you're eating your breakfast alone on the other side of the fort. I didn't think this through, did I? Too late for second thoughts, here it is all completed. He's now the proud owner of a statue of dwarves. We had one lying around. Some copper chairs, spares from the Camouflage College Library. A table, unused in the Hollow Hill. A weapon and armor rack, scavenged from the old barracks. And some random gems on a pedestal we just bought from the caravan on a whim. There we go, Avuz. No expense spared, or indeed made, at all. Well, he's still hauling. Guess I actually forgot to turn his tasks off. Whoops. Never mind. At least he isn't ferrying that damnable dress back and to. Ah, snot, damn it. I was watching our glum Avuz and realised that it's been a few years since we did what was supposed to be our annual winter HOLLOWDAYS. That will of course never do, so seeing as it's now late autumn, why don't we be a little naughty and start the festivities off early? All the dwarves have been given the order to quit working and make their way inside. And here they come! Now, I mentioned at the start of the episode that I had something special for you, and this is where I'll be sharing it. Though I say I do in fact mean we. What am I talking about? Well, remember last episode I mentioned the legend of Amos? You know what? It's probably going to be more fun to just show you. Enjoy! Are we really doing this? You can go live with your aunt again if you like. No, I just can't believe how lucky I am. Right. I think it will be fun. At a boulder. Him. Hear the tale of him, the legend. We almost lost the string and fibers he wove. Our purchase a bullet to cost. How'd we nearly forget the king of flannel and net, the lord of linen and silk? Oh yes, he can do stuff to live. Hear the tale of him, the legend. We almost lost the string and fibers he wove. Our purchase a bullet to cost. How'd we nearly forget the king of flannel and net, the lord of linen and silk? Oh yes, he can do stuff to live. Hear the tale of him, the legend. We almost lost the string and fibers he wove. Our purchase a bullet to cost. How'd we nearly forget the king of flannel and net, the lord of linen and silk? Oh yes, he can do stuff to leaves. Your bit's coming up. Are you ready? Do I really gotta do this? It's fun if you don't think too much. Easy for you to say. I can move your cot to the shed. Snot, damn it. He makes it so Hammerlock dwarves always pants. We thank him for that when we're given a chance. Be telling his legend and making it known. He's foundational, holding a wall, yeah, he's the cornerstone. Our first patron, cornerstone. Not including John's wife. Cornerstone. No marital obligation for you. No, you like this stuff. momentarily. Ah, that was good. Yeah. I need a share. I wasn't going to say. Oh dear. Looks like somebody didn't enjoy the song at least. Dastot here is a legendary weaver and seems to have taken offence to the lack of a bardic tale outlining her talented contribution to the sheathing of dwarven genitalia. Sorry, Miss Sneaked Vault, but Amos was in the right place at the right time. Plus, weaving is clearly more obviously integral to the manufacture of pants than threshing, and so less funny to write legends for. She doesn't seem to be causing that much of a ruckus, to be fair to her. So far, her tantrum consists of standing drunkenly in the middle of the creative fragrances and listening to a story. If all our dwarven tantrums are this peaceable, I think we might be able to dismantle the dungeon. Oh my! Well, that was an awful lot of blood and carnage all at once from nowhere. And it seems to still be going on, just when I'd praised you, Dastot. Dear me. Oh, and she's attacked little Dishmab, creator of the 5-man hula hoop. Rather unsurprisingly, the 4-year-old didn't give a great showing against this adult. Oh, for your sake, he'd better survive. Nothing for it but to stop the festivities and let the dwarves get the injured to the hospital. Oh, here they come. Good me, is that 7 dwarves, including Dastot, so 6 injured who didn't deserve it. Oh, bad things are coming your way, Miss Sneaked Vault. Mark my words, bad things. Taking a look in the Justice tab, and here's the crime. Disorderly conduct. Half a dozen injured dwarves, including a child, and that's the name of the crime. More like multiple attempted unalivings, but then I suppose Hammerfist does know best. Injured party is down as just asked, too. I wondered if that's through seniority or if asked was just first in the melee. I did see her with her new baby with Dastot, so that must be it. And Hammerfist saw everything. I say saw, I'm pretty sure she's the reason Dastot is currently unconscious, but cucumber cum cuba. Also says unsolved. What nonsense is this? Maybe we have to have a formal interrogation. Innocent until proven guilty, I get. This is innocent until Hammerfist has written it down somewhere, apparently. We can interrogate? Well, who better than Dastot herself? Let's do it! Following Hammerfist now. Off to interrogate Dastot. Whoops. Dragging her half-unconscious form off the surgical table she was at that moment getting surgery on. Oh no, Dastot has awoken and rather understandably headed back to the hospital. Hammerfist is having none of that, of course. She's got important enquiries to make. Like, where were you on the night of 14th Timber whilst I was feeding you a knuckle sandwich? Oh, one of our other dwarves there attempting to take Dastot back to bed. Buttery fingers, Hammerfist. Oh, seems like this interrogation will go the distance. And there it is. Checking the Justice tab, we can see the crime is still unsolved, despite the fact Dastot has accused herself of the crime of disorderly conduct. I guess we have to do it ourselves, which seems a little silly to me. Nowhere else do we get this same level of control when it comes to making decisions for our dwarves. My whole persona exists because the player's status seems that of a capricious god that can prod the psyche of the pixelated people but not actively decide the outcomes of specifics. I don't know. Allow us to interrogate and such by all means, but I think it more in fitting with Dwarf Fortress as a whole if we have to rely on our guard dwarves to make the right decisions with regards to convictions. You're guilty because God says so would seem to put the lie to an honest justice system. And detracts from story fun. I've done it anyway, and Dastot, now healed, seems aware of that fact because she's bolted for the library tower. Here we go, Sodal's got her, she being one of the sacks of amazing, and is dragging her to the dungeon to face her sentence. A month in chains in the dungeon. A sentence which begins now. And she's already feeling repentant after being confined. Say what you like, but clearly the system works. And I can promise you one thing. She'll not be causing problems in Hammerlock again. On to more pleasant happenings, and Risen has gone into a strange mood. Risen is a legendary miner and weaponsmith, and so of course has taken over a stoneworker's workshop to provide the maximum amount of disappointment as an adequate, though rusty, stonecutter. Much like Dishmab, she's gone straight for the chalk boulders, and so we await with bated breath the piece of furniture or pointless bauble she'll create that can be used to draw on the walls with. Let's leave her to... Oh, come on! Our nails and attics are still underarmed and armoured, so as we watch the goblins pour in, it's with the knowledge that only the sacks await them with bows at the ready. And already bolts are traded back and forth. Hold firm, sacks! No, some of our dwarves are already pulling back. Must be out of bolts. Damn, didn't think of that. Down to 2 defenders, and goblins have scaled the walls and gotten into melee range. Seems as though Uvash is going to need to dig deep and earn herself a nickname much like Hammerfist did before her. Hold on, Uvash! Oh, the nails are here, but too late for poor Uvash. Now the barricaded nails are here, they can at least take the close quarters combat, leaving our few remaining sacks to fire out at the now seemingly retreating goblins. Yes, scurry away like your demon, you bogey-coloured metal veins. In fact, we'll follow Uti's clean witches, is that a description or a demand, do you think, as the nails are sent to run her out. And stay out! Poor Uvash, we knew ye practically not at all. It's good news at the hospital at least. Sodel and Amos, the planned processing legend, are the only injured dwarves, and neither of them are all that hurt really. Better news is the fact that we caught 2 new goblins, which puts our total up to 5 captive green boys now. And I've been thinking on that. What with our dungeon getting pretty full of these foul things, we really do need a more permanent home for them, and I was thinking, what if we feed them to Akmam? Alright, they're not insects, and okay, I'll need to figure out how you take weapons off them to make it an unfair fight, but how good would that be? We'll need to test the idea first, of course, but we could even turn it into a yearly gladiatorial thing. It's not like we're ever short of them with the constant sieges. Anything is better than continuing to fill our dungeon with them. Dastot has already... Ah, that's right, iron bars do allow projectiles through them. Well, I did say Dastot wouldn't be causing any more trouble. Me, I'm awful. Right, I'd better sort this. Oh, that's right, Risen was making something. Ethadrinmol. Well, sounds like an antidepressant, but it means decent marshes, which sounds like a holiday destination for the depressed. It's worth a decent amount, to be fair. More than Dishmab's wagon wheel, even. But that's hardly a surprise when it's studded with more precious gems than a dragon's underside. It's also culturally significant. What with its image of our golden animal trap in chalk, our queen and dwarves in iron, and the sticky trousers in black pyrope. Frankly, it's a much better artifact than it has any right to be, and it's sad to think it'll end up stuck in a stockpile somewhere, because I never utilize these things properly. At least the kobolds won't nab it. I should think even our dwarves wouldn't fail to stop 2 of the little blighters hopping a stone cabinet off map. The big blue scorpion I created as a part of a set of color-coordinated battle beasts for a small group of karate-wielding teenagers, Beast Nathami, has come. Snotford did me a favor letting these things go. The potent changing vigor raiders. were a very inefficient way to stop Mrs. Legume again from sending her massive putty monsters to crush my vegetable patch. And not least because once Gainsborough started spending time out there, he got to them before she ever could. Anyway, it's nice to see it still kicking. Oh, that was the Blue Raiders' speciality, which always annoyed the Brown Raiders' kangaroo. But we have fun. Oh, would you look at this? Udil, after talking about it for me knows how many years, has finally discovered the construction and use of the windlass. How, on my dimension of destiny, they were discussing something which none of them knew existed before this point, I'm not quite sure. But now Udil is beavering away, writing a manual on the thing in a scroll. Yes, here it is. The Pursuit of the Windlass, written by Udil Mengnir and currently being dragged around by Law, who I think was planning on reading it, but then realised they had a meeting set up with Moldath and so decided to pocket one of only a handful of written works in the whole dimension as though it were a simple shopping list. No respect for the literal years that went into the creation of the work. For shame, Law! Ah, there we go, she's putting it back. Probably dog-eared the rollers. Oh my me, have you taken the time to image search some of the rocks in this game? Beast, Akmot, Ashmal, Stumeb has come. I had a lot of fun drawing this, I can tell you. It took a while, but after having seen what nice actually looks like, I just had to get the striations right. Not least because Gainsborough might have checked my work. Can't imagine anything more horrifying than having my artwork critiqued by somebody who can tell these things apart by taste. Oh, looks like Akmot has found itself some cave dwellers, and this brings me back to the thought we had earlier. Here we have a corridor above a hole, closed off with an iron door. This space leads down into the room we prepared our dwarves in to fight Melly all those years ago, which we'll see in a little while. For now, we will watch our dwarves leading the goblins down. Kind of thought they'd bring the cages, but that's my mistake. Oh dear, one of them at least appears to have escaped. Dostengosp. I've sent the order to the dwarves to... Oh, well, that was a bad choice, Mr. Clamhate, but problem solved at least. Looks like a second escaped higher up and was dealt with minimal injuries, leaving Ooties here to be re-wrangled and, yes, thrown down into the pit with his brethren. So with 2 dead and 3 in, we'll just lock the iron door and unlock this shale one. Ha! They're straight to it. Oh, and here's Akmot on the hunt immediately, and it stopped. Moving again, but at a snail's pace. Come on, beast! Following Ooties now, hopefully they'll fall foul of the cavern dwellers or another beast. No, escaped off the map. Oh, Akmot is still pursuing, though I think it's too late. How disappointing. And with that, I think we'll be calling it. I would like to thank you all for watching and thank Cornerstone once again for being our very first patron. All of your support, whether you like, comment, subscribe or actually give real world money you sweat for, is intensely appreciated. Frankly, getting to the end of the video is something I can't thank you enough for. Life is tough right now and time is short. So, thank you. Avuz and Avuz, you most wonderful of individuals. Avuz and Avuz. Yes, Gainsborough, what is it? There is a group of angry-looking pubescent teens in the garden shouting radical and tubular at each other while decapitating the roses. Tell Snodford to get the hose. Far out, man.